Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called a Black 75. The ingredients you need to make a Black 75 are 1.5 ounces of Bayab orange and marula gin, 0.75 ounces of simple syrup, a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, an 1/8 teaspoon of activated charcoal, 3 ounces of sparkling wine. So to make a Black 75, which is basically a French 75, but we making it black, baby. You're gonna combine the gin, the lemon juice, and the simple syrup into the shaker, add ice, shake well, strain into your coupe glass, top with the sparkling wine, garnish with an edible flower and an orange peel. And that, baby, is a Black 75.
That sounds tasty. Welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey,
you know
y'all.
what I like about that cocktail?
What?
It has activated charcoal in it. I don't know if y'all know this, but it helps for hangovers. So if you're hungover the next day, so it's like your hangover cure is already in your cocktail. It's balancing it out.
That's
but yeah.
funny. It's so funny because that is also another drink we made in my cocktail making class.
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking everybody, like, does everyone know what activated charcoal is? And a lot of people didn't. And Camille was like, is it going to make the drink taste like a grill?
That is a good question.
It is a good question because our too was like, you can't even taste it if
Yeah.
you do actually make it. You can't taste it. It just makes your drink pretty.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Because who doesn't love a fun looking cocktail? And when's the last time you had a black one?
Mm. All right, y'all. This week, Kiki and I aren't going to catch up because we have a guest, somebody that we've collaborated with before on her platform. We got Jojo Alonso from Jojo and the Big Homie Show.
Welcome.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm so
Us too.
excited. I know we had talked about having you on last year, and then Kiki and I do a lot of bulk recording, and we've gotten really good.
It's hard
with,
to schedule,
but we've gotten good
sometimes.
with scheduling, having people ready and in order, and then the right time. Here you are.
I'm
How
glad
you
you didn't
been?
forget. Y'all didn't forget
Mm-mm,
about me.
we got good memories when it comes
Right,
to
she
cocktails.
Well, we'll
yeah,
make a
y'all definitely
list.
get back to
Yeah.
it.
Share
But
a
I've
note.
been good though. I had another baby, so
Congratulations.
thank you. I got my girl, I got my boy.
Uh-huh.
I'm not done.
We're going to talk more about that in a minute. So you got 2 babies now, and you're on the radio now. What else
Yes.
is going on?
So now I'm actually just working on being more outside, being media correspondent for different platforms. And I'm actually also starting my mommy's podcast.
That's exciting.
Yes.
That's going to be the name of it?
It's called From Desk to Diapers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about working moms?
It is.
Okay, that's a cute name for
It
that.
is. Yes.
Are you going to have the guests are going to be other moms? I love
Yes,
that.
other moms in the industry. I have a couple people that's already agreed to be a part of it. So yeah.
Do you think it's hard to work and be a mom? Or are you one of those people where you just you're like, I can do everything?
No. It's not it's not that easy. It's hard sometimes. It gets a little difficult. I've been a single mom for 6 years. So it's been tough. It's tough, but you figure it out. Once you become a mom, it's you have no choice but to figure it out. So I think I've done a pretty good job so far.
I say this all the time. Moms are superheroes because
Yeah.
you do have to figure it out. You
And
got
everybody's looking at you when you don't. Nobody's looking at the pappy who never was.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of family here?
I don't.
Where are you from?
Originally from Chicago and Memphis. I'm from both. I claim both of them every time.
Chicago and
Yes.
Memphis. Come on. My dog is from Chicago. Her name is Shy.
Your dog?
She a Yorkie and she rowdy.
Okay.
Ooh, she real rowdy. Yeah,
Her name's
baby.
Shy?
Her name is Shy for Chicago.
No, I'm
yeah.
assuming so. That's so cute.
I had Chicago before Kim did. I really did. When I tell people her name is Chicago, I'm like, I had it before Kim.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I get that. She
Does
took it from
anybody
you.
try to test you?
Sometimes
They
people be
probably
like,
do.
oh, like Chicago, like Kim Kardashian. No.
Chicago is a very established city that has been around for so long. You think
Right.
she's the only one with that idea? Okay, well, we have a bunch of questions for you. We want to know more about you and who you really are.
Okay.
And your life as a mom, a working mom at that. But first, we're going to get in your business with I'm Curious to Know. Yes. So we came up with a game during the pandemic called I'm Curious to Know, which is available at I'mCuriousToKnow.com. And there's all these questions. It's great for dates, but it's also good for a girls' night or just, it has so many different conversation starters in there, and it helps you get to know somebody with random questions. So we're going to ask you a few.
I'll go
wait.
first.
Okay.
Okay, JoJo. I'm curious to know, on a scale from 1 to 10, how nasty are you?
10.
Ooh. You said that with confidence.
Oh, yeah.
What
Not
makes you so nasty?
I'm nasty. I'm just
Now,
nasty.
what's
people done sat
nasty?
in that same chair and said that, and they're like, I French kiss.
No.
Are you nasty or you like a lot of sex?
Both.
Really?
I'm nasty, yes. I am
She
nasty.
looks like she's
I do
reminiscing.
nasty things.
Yeah.
I do things that like I be ashamed of sometimes. I know like when we came and talked and you guys were like, we don't kink shame.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm like that. It's like some of my kinks are just like,
They're out there.
girl, you is.
What's your wildest one?
My wildest one is probably eating ass.
That is a thing right now. That's an epidemic.
Some people are very judgy about it, not us, but some people really are. And it's like, don't knock it till you try it.
And some of y'all knocking it and you did try it. You just lying, booty mouth.
Yeah, they definitely lying. They
You wasn't
lying.
good at it. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Okay. What's your favorite part of sex?
My favorite part of sex is probably the pain.
The pain.
Yeah.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay, I'll be asking like I know this stuff.
I'm not going to say, so what does that mean?
I like the, I think
You like
that's
the pain.
I don't know.
Do you like to feel the pain or do you like to inflict pain?
I like to feel the pain.
I'm the
But
same way.
yeah, I think so. It's actually, I don't know. I think I'm tied because I like the passion behind it too. Like the parts that be on movies. The
All the steamy
the
moments
steamy,
that would fall
all that
apart.
pulling the hair and kissing and all of that. I like that.
The
too.
foreplay.
I read in a
Yeah.
book recently, and it was talking about sexual interactions with people in a heterosexual relationship. That's just, I don't know why they worded it like that, but maybe it's for everybody. But and the author was talking about how like when people have meaningless sex, this is not something you realize until I guess you see it in the book. Because I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. When people have meaningless sex versus like sex that is thought out, passion is involved. Meaningless sex causes depression for your body. Like your body is receiving this sort of, it's not getting the communication that you're supposed to get during sex, which is a connection, and it can cause depression. And I was
makes
like,
sense.
It really does make sense.
Because why are you penetrating me?
Yeah, and it flips because when you look at the symptoms of depression and even like bipolar depressive disorder and stuff like that, one of the symptoms is being hypersexual.
Wow.
So it goes both ways. Like I don't know which one is the cause and which is the effect, but they definitely go hand in hand. Yeah, I've had a lot of sad sex. Okay, how do you approach trust in a relationship? Do you start with it or does it have to be earned?
I start with it.
And then
But I be a little like reserved. So yeah. I
So
start
like
with
they
it,
might
though.
not know that you trust them and that it can be taken away? Or what do you mean you start a
Well,
little
they
reserved?
know that I trust them. I'll let them know that I trust them. But I'm still detecting everything they got going on. I say I trust you, but
You don't.
I don't. I don't. I'm gonna tell you that so that you know that I do trust you, but I'm gonna search for what I need to find out. And then if I see, okay, then I'll
If he
let it
doesn't
be.
have to have any points docked, he can stay in a good position.
If what?
If he doesn't have any points docked, after you've done your investigation, you don't find nothing, everything's good,
Then he's good.
then he can stay.
Yeah, then he's good. Then I
Okay.
trust you, and then I'm not gonna do any more researching.
Okay.
Okay, here's my last one. I'm curious to know, has a significant other made you mad enough to damage their property? And share the story.
That's crazy that you say that. I literally was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. I have not damaged anybody's property,
That's good.
but I have went upside somebody's head before.
Oh,
Now, see, we just got through talking about.
Yeah, I know. And I also like broke into his crib one time. So like I done did some crazy stuff, but I never like messed up his stuff. Like
Now,
his
when you
property.
broke in, you didn't break the door?
I knew that he left his window unlocked.
see, y'all better lock y'all's
What were you
windows.
doing? I want to know this
He
story.
had me messed up because he was a cheater
Uh-huh.
and he had me messed up. So
Did you catch him?
No, but
Were
he
you
wasn't
looking
at
for
home.
evidence?
So I was at home when he got home. I knew he wasn't home. So I got there and I opened the window and I sat in the living room. And we walked in, them little crazy movies where you sitting there with the light on and they walk in. That's what I was doing.
And what did he do when he got there?
Shook his head, was like, get in the bed. I'm like, yep.
Now, what would you
had
have done
thought-
if he walked in with another
Everybody
woman?
got their ass beat.
What would you have done?
Literally.
What would you have done? What would you have done if he walked in with a man?
Ooh, that took a turn.
I would have to figure out, what are y'all doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? I would have just left.
I would have been crying.
I don't even wanna know.
I can't even.
I don't even want to know. What's going on? Nope. I just want to go.
You just never know what you're gonna find.
Just give me no, that's true. That's
You never
true.
know what you're going to find when you're snooping.
Show don't.
No, that's true.
Speaking of snooping, we're gonna move on to weird sex because I have a story about somebody who got something they didn't bargain for and they weren't even snooping, but maybe she should have.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, guys, this week's weird sex. Somebody sent it to me. Thank you. I can't remember who, but thank you for sending me this story. So there was a girl who was out just trying to earn a little couple dollars. She was doing DoorDash. How about she delivers to an address and her boyfriend answers the door, but was making a delivery for a girl. So it's like he's cheating on you while you out here slaving in these DoorDash streets.
Oh, God
going
wanted
up
you
and
to
downstairs, and it's your man who comes to the door to accept this delivery while he laid up with somebody else. What would you do?
I'm not even...
Or what would you do if you were the other girl? You didn't order DoorDash, and the DoorDash delivery comes, you ask the dude to go to the door, and he's having an argument with his girlfriend at the door of your house. So now she knows where you stay. She could be crazy. He's obviously crazy. I felt bad for her, and I know that was a bad day. She probably ate anybody else's food that she had in the car.
Yeah, because I definitely would have ate her food.
No, but how did it end? He opened the door, she saw him.
I don't know how it ends. I don't know who the girl is, but the Ring alarm. I love the Ring alarms. They catch everything. So it's a video that I watched, and they're just arguing. I don't know what happened. They probably still together because they probably live together. They signed that lease too early, and neither one of them can afford to break it.
And those... oh, that's a rough situation.
That's a
Now
real
y'all just
life
gotta be in
situation.
here
Yeah, that's tough.
in the kitchen. Don't eat my groceries. The Ring alarm is that's a tricky situation. My man does not play about security. So we got the Ring alarm and we got several other security systems around the house. I get it and I appreciate it, but sometimes I forget about it. And sometimes when we get mad at each other and I go outside and I be talking shit on the phone, I'm like, if
You
he
need to get in the
ever
car.
goes back to, and one time I did it, but I didn't do it because I was thinking about it.
It just happened.
Yeah, like I literally sometimes I'll be like, shit, if he ever decides to just go back and watch this, he's gonna be like, wow. And I'm gonna be like, well, maybe I should go back and watch, actually. We don't need to go back and watch. Because
No, I'm gonna say
Don't
do
go
it, girl,
snooping.
but, you know,
Don't go snooping.
you might ruin your day. You don't need that
You
negative
might,
energy
yeah,
in
I'm
your
trying
life.
to do better.
Sometimes people vent when they're upset. It doesn't mean that they really mean it. They just had to let it out.
Yeah, but about this girl and this food. No.
I hope they break
'Cause
up.
I don't know, because the girl that probably ordered the food probably already knew that he had a girlfriend. So
You think so?
I mean, these days ain't no telling.
I
she
mean,
might
right?
have.
It ain't no, but she might not have. She might have just
Well,
been
if
like,
she didn't
Oh,
know,
we're just chilling today.
then he can leave. I'm so sick of these men these days. I'm sick of them. Because honestly, all these dudes that be like trying to holler at me and be in my DMs be either they have a girlfriend or they're married. Literally sick of it.
Do they post the significant other a lot, and that's how you know, or you
Yes.
know them already?
No, I know because I like see them on social media with them. I'm like, didn't you just try to holler at me? Like, you weirdo. So that being said, I would just be like, just go, just get out. Because I don't have time to be dealing with you. And I'd have been pissed off because, yes, now she know where I live.
Because what if she's really psychotic? I watched too many documentaries, crime podcasts. I read true crime books. Like, bitches be crazy.
Bitches is crazy.
And I get it.
I watched you, and okay, so on Hulu, they're really bringing back, I don't know if these are old Lifetime movies, they look kind of new. We grew up on Lifetime. I'm pretty sure you watched Lifetime too as a kid.
You know I did.
My boyfriend be like, wow, you really was watching them? I was like, yeah, because these are true stories. I knew as a kid, like, let me look out for what you need to look out for. Niggas is
seriously.
crazy, women is crazy. There is a Lifetime movie, I literally watched it today. It's called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's on Hulu, and it's a true story. It's about this lady, her name was Heidi Burrow, I think. Her best friend killed her. And it was crazy because Heidi got pregnant and then the friend said she was pregnant. This is a true story. It happened in Austin or Houston. Anyways, the girl got pregnant. She was really pregnant. Her best friend lied and said she was pregnant, ordered baby bumps, and went through this whole process of saying she was pregnant. Y'all got to watch this movie. I'm giving the details because it's a true story.
Now, what is it called? Let me write this down.
Just look up on Hulu the Heidi Burrow movie. It's called Mommy Something. Anyways, her friend faked her pregnancy the whole 9 months. And she planned this. When her best friend actually had her baby, she went to the hospital to see it because she wanted a girl. And it was a girl and she was so happy and she saw the baby. And then she faked like she had her baby a week later. So she threw away the baby bumps. It went to her friend's house and was like, I need you and Emma to come downstairs, you and the baby to come downstairs. Me and my boyfriend had a fight. She told her boyfriend she was pregnant. He was trying to break up with her. She was like, I'm pregnant. He thought she was pregnant, but she never let anybody feel the baby. I don't know how anybody gets away with that because I'm feeling your stomach and I'm asking questions.
Exactly.
Like, what? Especially if it's my damn baby.
She goes to her best friend's house. She comes down. She's like, we need to just go to a coffee shop. Mind you, her friend had just had the baby. She's like, I can't go. She's like, just bring the baby and let's go.
Y'all can't even drink coffee.
She kills the girl, takes her baby, puts the girl's body in the trunk, takes the baby home. That day, her boyfriend comes home and she was like, I had the baby today. And he was,
y'all already.
I couldn't, and he was like, where? And when? Why didn't you tell me? She was like, well, it just all happened so quick. Y'all, she had the baby for at least a week. They ended up finding out what had happened. It was crazy. She killed the lady, took her baby, and thought she was gonna raise it.
And now that baby ain't got no mama.
And she had known that girl since she was 16 years old.
Bitches is weird.
Weird.
Watch who you call your friends.
Wild.
That is so
That's why you need to
crazy.
watch these random ass females too. Shit.
If you ask me, nothing stinks more than the inside of a belly button. Except for bad body odor. I'm talking about when somebody's just musty and it takes over the whole entire universe, the airplane, the room, the car, and you're just trapped in the funk. That's why I'm so excited to tell you guys about Lumi Whole Body Deodorant. Yes, your whole body, from your pits to your toes and even your privates. It was created by an OBGYN. So ladies, don't be scared. Do not be scared. It's so funny, Kiki, because I told you I joined the Run Club and I've really been like making sure I show up no matter, like no excuses, even if I have somewhere to be after. Lumi saves my life. Like
I was gonna say, how are you doing that?
Because listen, one day my girlfriend was like, I want to take you out to celebrate. And I was like, oh, I'm going on a run. I'm not going to have time to go home, shower, and then meet you. And then I was like, oh, never mind, girl. I got my Lumi in the car. I stay strapped. I put on a little whole body deodorant. I put it under the backs of my kneecaps because that's where the sweat was caught. Under my arm, the back of my neck. I had the lotion. And I smelled, literally while I was at the restaurant, somebody's like, you smell so good. And I was like, you don't even know. You don't even know. I got dried up sweat on the back of my neck.
Yes. I totally feel you on that. Lumi has saved me so many times. And the crazy thing is, even if you would have been trifling and went home and didn't shower for a few days, we wouldn't have smelled you because Lumi is going to keep you smelling fresh for up to 72 hours. Please bathe, but just in case of emergencies, 72 hours. It's paraben free, it is baking soda free, and it's pH balanced, which is also really important because again, it's whole body deodorant. So make sure you get yours. If you head on over to Lumi's website, that's lumideodorant.com, there is a special offer for you. So just for our listeners, as a special offer, new customers are going to get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off of all the products and you get the starter pack, which is already discounted, that's going to come out to about 40% off.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that is a deal. Like Lumi is popping up everywhere. I've been seeing it all over the place, but make sure you go ahead and go to lumideodorant.com and purchase there. Use our code CockTales. It's CockTales for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. Again, that's LumiDeodorant.com. Tell them CockTales sent ya.
But talking about, I wanted to switch gears a little. When you talk about the girl working at DoorDash and all that stuff and exes, I saw a clip on Instagram recently and there was these two guys talking. I can't remember the name of their podcast. And they were talking about how when you run into an ex or something happens and an ex is brought up and you see them, and depending on their status, you're not comfortable letting the person that you're currently with know that you used to deal with them. So the examples were you order DoorDash, you get the door and it's someone you used to fuck or date. You close the door, you're like, I used to fuck with her, and y'all sit there and laugh about it. You're like, she worked for DoorDash. Or you're watching the Grammys.
And that's your ex-boyfriend.
And somebody comes up and it's like, I don't know, let's just say, who's someone that would be
Michael
like
B.
intimidated? It's Michael B.
Okay.
Jordan. Well, he wouldn't win a Grammy, an Oscar. And you're like, I used to date him and now someone's mad. Would you rather you run into an ex that is like doing something top tier with their life or not? They're not that, you know, there's
Not
levels.
that it really matters, but
Like, would you let them actually know?
my current partner, would I
Your
let
current partner. You're watching the Grammys. And Michael, let's not say Michael B. Jordan. Let's say, like, who's someone you actually would be like, and he is like a catch. Not that Michael B. Jordan isn't, but he kind of little.
I can't think of anybody. I don't know.
I
don't know.
Okay, well, let's keep with Michael B. Jordan. He is fine, but I don't think he like black women. So your boyfriend might be like, he don't even like black girls.
And that's why he dumped your ass.
But let's switch it. Let's say it's the guy, and it's what's Lori Harvey? It's Lori Harvey, and he used to fuck with Lori.
Yeah, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
I wouldn't care if he told me. I'm gonna laugh because I'm gonna be like, well, it didn't work out. What are you telling me for? Do you think you get a certificate for that? Like, you didn't keep her. Maybe you dated her. I'm not gonna feel a way about that if she's doing well. Would I tell? I think it depends on how secure I think the man is. If I feel like it's gonna be a constant thing, now we can't never see no movies, or we can't watch the games or attend a game because he's on the team or something like that, I would keep it to myself. But if I felt like he was secure and wouldn't care, I would say it. But 9 times out of 10, I just keep it to myself. Whether it's the DoorDash person or somebody is getting an award on TV. What would you do?
I would handle it like you do. I mean, I talk a lot. Y'all know that. Sometimes I overshare, and I do the same in my relationship. Like,
too.
sometimes I will talk about, like, sometimes I'm just like, you maybe you should know this, or I'll be telling a story and like it'll come out that I used to date somebody. And I recently had a situation happen. We were at a comedy show and they put the man on the screen, rest in peace to him. And we have talked about him on the show before, and he is huge in like the music industry and the comedy world. You put 2 and 2 together, y'all probably know who it is. And they did a whole, and it was a whole conversation after that. And I was just
Really?
like, yes. And I was just like, you know what, I won't do this again, because he just had questions. Like,
He wanted to know about like the depth of the relationship. or
yeah, he
something?
wanted to know
Okay.
about the depth. Like, he knew that the guy would be paying bitches to have sex. Like, it was too, I was like, I wish I
what
wouldn't have
kind
told
of-
you this, because now you asking all these questions and I don't want to talk about it anymore. It wasn't like he was mad, but it was just, I don't want to talk about it. It was just weird.
It's like a drawn out conversation that doesn't need to be had. I told you a random trivia fact about me, and that's it. That's
And
where
I
we
can't
leave
help
it.
it that a lot of younger years, it was a lot of people that now I'd be like, I'm just not going to say it. If we somewhere in this, I'd be like,
Well, I'm kind of like, it just depends on where we at in the relationship, because
And you work in media.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, especially if you're secure. Okay, I might not say something.
How do you gauge that? If they're secure or not?
You don't ask questions about who I'm talking to or who I'm interviewing or what party I'm going to and who's gonna be there, and like, you don't ask those questions. You just let me do my thing. But if you trying me, I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, oh, look at him.
And then I'll be
Oh,
wondering,
you
like,
toxic.
Yeah, I'm about to text him later. I just got off the phone with him. That's one of my good partners. Now I'm gonna look at you like,
how would you feel if he shared that he used to date someone who is doing well?
I don't want to know about anybody he used to date.
Oh, it's just like everybody before me should evaporate.
I'm a very jealous girlfriend.
Oh.
Like, I am. I don't care who it is, what it is. Like, you're going to have to lay it out. Like, if you have a female friend, who is it? Who is she? I want to meet her. Because I want to meet her. Because I want to know, is this bitch really your friend, or is this bitch trying to fuck you? You're not going to be able to know.
Valid.
I'm going to be able to know because I'm a female, she's a female, so I need to figure it out. So, like, things like that is cool. But I don't want to know about any female that you used to talk to, because I'm not going to I don't want to know, because I'm going to always not like them.
And then I'm also going to wonder, depending on, the scenario where this is happening, where we see this person that you used to date or that I used to date, why are you telling me that you used to date this person?
To
Did
make me
I
mad.
already know? Because if we're watching the Oscars and somebody goes up there to accept an award and you tell me, oh, I used to date her, why are you telling me this? It's irrelevant.
To make me mad.
Now, if you were sharing an experience some other time and you set a date and it just happened to be this person, that's one thing. But why are you telling me this?
Let's say you're not watching TV and you're in the same room as them. Would you want him to let you know? Let's say, and you even hit it off with the girl. You're talking.
Okay, so there was an interaction.
If
there's an interaction, yes. If there's no interaction and they're just there,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that.
If we're in the same
for
room.
what? Because now I'm looking and I'm trying to look at stuff and it's like, I don't need to do all of that today.
What if he's interacting with her? Not in a disrespectful way.
Nobody needs to interact. If nobody interacts, I don't need to know. If there is an interaction between him or between me and her, I want to know.
If we are in the same room, I need to know. Because if she across the hall or across the room and she's staring me down, I need to know the reason why she's staring me down.
What if
That's enough of an
she used to
interaction to
suck
me.
your dick.
That is, like, what if she's not staring you down? Like, what if everybody's just in the same room and nobody is?
She didn't even see y'all.
I still want you to tell me so that I know, just in case you do decide to stare me down.
You want to be prepared.
I'm just saying, tell me.
Yeah, I want to know, because I feel like a man or my man would want to know if we're in a room full of people. If there's this guy that I used to fuck on, he might want to know that.
I look at it like it's a situational thing, because sometimes I think that there's a time and a place. If there is no reason for me to let you know, unless if it's somebody that I used to talk to and I know he gonna try to act up.
Okay, yeah.
He's a
And
clown.
not act up like cause a fight, but just he is gonna be being extra.
He's going to make sure to come over.
He's gonna be being extra, and it's like my man over here talking and dapping him, and he don't even know. I can't let you look like a fool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you right then and there, but when we get in the car, I probably am gonna tell you, and you probably are gonna be mad. Not
Or I
even
might
in
pull
an
you
insecure
aside.
way.
But like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
But
'cause
that's
now
why I
I'm in here
try
being
to
friendly.
jump that. I try to already just get ahead of that and tell you off rip. Like, you remember that dude I had told you about that time I had did that one thing with?
See, it can just ruin the night. I'll be like, I don't want to ruin the night. If I'm not telling you every situation, because quite frankly, like, hey, listen, I've been single for a long time in Atlanta.
Life has
I know some
happened.
people. Life has happened. So
Right.
if every time we go somewhere, and not to say that this has happened, but it has a little bit. Like every time we go somewhere, I'm like, him too. Oh, the DJ? Come on. Like, no.
Right.
Or it's like we got mutual friends and stuff. Not me and him, but like maybe me and other friends. So it's like I didn't even know he was gonna be here, but he's here.
And then sometimes it might not even be a he. It might be a girl. And now it's
that
like,
too. And then I'm like, do you want to know that too? Because now we got a whole nother list to go
yeah,
down.
like I gotta play a
Much
case by
shorter
case. If
list.
it's
Listen.
necessary for you to know, and I feel like you're gonna be disrespected, or it's this situation, you need to be aware of this, because I would want to be aware of this. But quite frankly, if we go somewhere, I don't want to know everywhere we go there's somebody you was fucking with. I just don't, because now I am gonna be looking like, naturally, I'm a human. I'm gonna be like,
So-
nigga, so you was just fucking on everybody, knowing good and well I was too, but still,
Right. Okay, so I have a question. Like, if you're dating someone, right? Do you want them to let it be known to other people, like, hey, this is my girl, or do you not really care too much about that, as long as y'all know what y'all got going on?
Is this my boyfriend or this is somebody we're
No,
just
your
dating?
boyfriend. Your boyfriend.
Yeah, I would like for it to be known.
Yeah.
It needs to be, because why is it not?
Okay.
I guess, what do you mean be known? Like, we're out and you're not introducing me?
No, just like people that are in his circle or that he's familiar with, or
Your
know,
friends
letting
need to
it
know
be.
you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, like,
I went through
or
this.
people that he's close to, or they may be close to, like.
Yeah, you need to know that they need to know.
Now, what if they do let that be known, right? Mm-hmm. But every time they see him, he's with another female.
Oh, that's not a
Now, how do I know this? I was running intel some kind of way. Now,
Like what if, you're his girl.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that you're his girl, but every time he's out, they see him with another girl.
so then what's the question for us? Because if they're seeing that I don't see that, I don't know. Like, would I want them to tell me?
Okay, so now his friends may not know what part you play because it's so many.
That's not in my vortex. I'm not even gonna lie, because I would know that you out with other.
Okay,
people.
so you're out with other people. Your friends know this. So you telling them that I'm your girlfriend, but it's giving open relationship.
It's
or
giving
dumb
like
bitch,
I get
one
to
of
do it
those?
right. It's giving what I can do whatever I want to do.
I would hope somebody, and whoever is seeing this, would tap me on the shoulder and let me know so that I can exit. Because if I truly am oblivious to this, or
Which
maybe
I don't know
have
how
my
you could be.
I don't know how, but what if you are? People enter relationships, they might be in a long distance relationship. So you think that you know, but we all know that you can check in and do these things and still be lying, right? So I would just hope that somebody would tell me, because I would also hope that I've met these people. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of them. I think it's important to do that. And I'm nice to anybody I'm dating, to their people, because I do want them to feel bad for me should something like this happen. You know what I mean? I would just hope somebody would tell me, because there's nothing I can do if I don't know.
Right.
And I would want to know, because now I feel like a fool.
That conversation is so interesting though, because like I would want to know, and again, that's not on my vortex, or that is not happening. Like I will know that you got other girlfriends if that's the case. But let's say I didn't know, like you said. I have a brother, and so I think about it with my brother. Like, if he had a girlfriend and he was bringing other girls around, my loyalty is to my brother. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I know that I'm not gonna at Thanksgiving be like, "Hey, girl."
Okay, one of them
dinner table just like,
scenes.
I don't know.
You don't know this situation.
Y'all put me in this situation. This ain't my business. Y'all are grown.
Yeah. As a sibling, I wouldn't, but as a friend, woman to woman, I would probably ask a question in a way like, "Oh, so are y'all together?" I would ask her and see what she says. "Oh, really? How long?" And I'm going to make a face like, "See me in the bathroom, bitch." Because I'm just going to ride for the girls. Like, yeah, this nigga is my friend, but I know how they do. And I feel bad for you because you seem like a nice lady.
And now we go back out to the function. And
I'm going to tell him too, because I would also speak up to him. This is wrong. What are you doing? Why are you playing with this girl like this? If you don't really want to be in a committed relationship, or you want the relationship to be open, you need to tell her, and you got this amount of time, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be good. And I'm going to also encourage him to watch some documentaries about people snapping.
I had brought that up because if you're talking to someone, right, and they let it be known that you're their girl, and their friend or someone that they know tries to holler at you, what does that say something about the friend, or does that say something about the man?
It could be either or, because it could be your friend is really a snake and you need to know your friend ain't shit, or you have downplayed the situation to the friend and you don't know. I would speak up. I would tell, because I'm also going to be like looking at your friend sideways if you think this is your best friend, but your best friend keeps trying to holler at me.
Yeah, I would probably look at my man sideways like,
do you know that? Well,
why is your friend trying to holler at me? You got some other stuff going on, or
you got?
I probably would assume the other way, that he doesn't know that his friend is a snake.
He know.
I
feel like you gotta really pay attention to your circle, and this is just like the older me talking. Like you gotta pay attention to your circle, because you know how your friends are. We know how our friends are. Some of them I know so much how they were that we're not friends no more, because it doesn't align with like what I believe in and the things, how you should be treating people. Like I can't, if my man was hanging out with a bunch of people that be cheating and acting crazy, he 9 times out of 10 is behaving that way. And I say that to say, because you remember my ex in college and how that breakup happened, and it was really dramatic and really sad, and it was crazy because I knew everything his best friend was doing, his line brother, his roommate, and he would my boyfriend at the time would come back and tell me what he was doing. They lived together, they pledged together, they were best friends. And he would be telling me the business like I can't believe he's doing it. We broke up because he was doing the exact same thing that he was doing.
Of course.
And that really has proven time and time again in my life.
So you believe that? Birds of a feather?
I believe it. Birds of a feather flock together. You out here stealing and doing something, and you're like, my friends be stealing. Nigga, you be stealing
You
too.
stealing too.
Because ain't no way you're okay with this. If one of my homegirls was like, sometimes I be stealing stuff, I would be like,
that's not okay, right?
Tighten up.
Have you never been in a situation where you're about to enter a transition? Like, okay, you you didn't know the person was doing something, or you used to be okay with certain things and now you're changing.
Right.
And you're not okay with that shit anymore. So it is like, to a certain extent, yes, birds of a feather flock together. But at some point, there is a small period of time, or sometimes too long, where the birds of a feather are flocking together, but they separate because they not the same kind, you know? So it's like you just never know where people are in their lives and what periods it is, because some people start doing stuff, other people change. They get influenced by other people and they start to shift. And it's like, this has been my friend for so long. I'm trying to talk her through something. I'm trying to help her through something. And it's not changing. Now I have to distance myself.
Yeah.
But you were on some shit that I wasn't on for X amount of days, maybe 2 or 3 months or whatever, before I really just, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I just think that there's a little room there. And then also sometimes, you know, these friends are not good friends. A good friend, somebody that you're super close to, you should know what they're on. Somebody that's more of an acquaintance, not so much. Did that happen to you?
I've had a lot of stuff happen. Yes, a lot.
How did you handle it?
I'm still handling it. I think. I haven't handled shit.
You trying to figure out what to do?
No, I know what to do. I'm just letting it ride out until I get like completely just over it.
What do you think it is? Do you think that the guy that you're dealing with or were dealing with is not really telling the truth about y'all situation?
At that moment, because this was a real situation, but it was like then. I think back then when his friend tried to holler, I think back then he didn't know the magnitude of like how much he was in love with me. But, you know, he also had other women around. So, you know, he didn't really...
Oh, it was in the early stages.
To maybe the friend. Because we were together for a while, but we've known each other for like 10 plus years. So...
He
Are
didn't
y'all
know you
still
were his
together?
girlfriend. We are.
I don't know what we
business.
are.
I forgot what we was talking about.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm
in
an
her
open book. I
business.
talk
That's
about...
what we talking about.
Yeah, I talk about my...
Now,
I
are
talk
y'all
about my
together
business all the
now?
time. I don't know what we are.
Okay,
We supposed to be
confusion.
together as of like yesterday, but as of today, I don't really know how I'm feeling today. I don't know if today I want to be in a relationship or not.
Remember on Facebook when they used to say it's complicated? That's what it is. Remember
It's more
everybody
than
used to be getting mad at
complicated.
updating their relationship status?
It's complicated.
That really was
It's
a thing.
just real complicated.
I wanted to ask you, I really wanted to start with this, but we kind of got on a tangent because the weird sex was so good. Jojo, who are you in real life? And what is your behavior like in real life and dating you in real life? Because a lot of your content on your show with Kodak, shout out to Kodak, I love
And
me
your
some Kodak.
viral moments.
And your viral moments is talking about niggas with money. This what you gotta have. This what you gotta, like, kind of your stance on that. And that is a lot of what you be talking about. And I know I've read the comments and people be like, she sound crazy. Ain't no way she got a man. You do, and you have a family, and you know. Is it a facade? Is it a character? Or some of the things that you talk about as far as like finances and men, is it real?
So the things that I speak about are real. So when I'm speaking, I speak about things that I have like experienced before. So I used to be younger. So like back then, that is what was important to me. So if we're having a conversation about a girl who's wanting a man for money, then I'm understanding where she's coming from because I used to be that girl. You know, so sometimes I don't speak in like with what I got going on right now in the present. Sometimes I speak about things that I've experienced or things that I may know that other women may experience too. Because a lot of the times I play devil's advocate. A lot of the times I don't agree with half of the things that are being said, but I do know that the person who's saying what they're saying has a voice. And I know because I used to be there, or I know somebody who's been there before. So I advocate for them in that moment.
So where are you at now? Like, what is important to you when it comes to a real relationship?
So what's important to me is a couple things. A God-fearing man, loyalty, finances. He doesn't have to have, he doesn't have to be a millionaire, but, he has to.
You don't have to break that down. It's not like I was asking you that, like, in finances. Finances matter. How someone handles their finance,
for sure.
financial literacy
We're adults.
is important. Like,
It's
we're not
so
going to act
important.
like it's not important.
Yeah.
Somebody that knows how to, but I'm not talking about you just throwing money and you got
Right,
money.
right,
You know
right.
how to use money as a tool.
Yeah.
That's important.
That's very important. And really, pretty much those are like the main things. A family-oriented man. Those are pretty much the main things. I'm not too like stuck on what a man makes or what he does for a living or anything like that. Like he can have a regular job. He could be a regular guy. I really honestly think that I'm going to end up being with a regular guy.
What does regular mean to you, and what does regular mean to you? Because everybody got a different version of regular.
So regular to me is a guy who is off the radar. Like social media has like 200 followers. Like love it. Like have a nice paying 9 to 5, may not be 9 to 5, but you get, 9 to 5 job. And he's not flashy and do all the extra stuff. He goes to work, he comes home, and he don't like doing all that extra stuff unless it's with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say pretty much the same thing. Like you're not working in any form of entertainment, media, no sport, nothing where your job is to be seen.
Yeah.
I also don't want you working behind the scenes. Well, not I want you, but when I'm thinking of regular, you don't work behind the scenes in those industries either. You do something just a little bit more normal where there's not so much light on the individuals that are involved with stuff like that. Money, I think that you can be a regular guy and make a lot of money, or you can have whatever the average income of an American is these days. But that's what I think. And you're not trying to be famous.
Now, what does that say about us ladies?
Nothing. That's just what a regular man is.
I don't know. I think that means...
Because I don't think it makes a man better or worse.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying,
regular.
what is that to say? Like, and I want him to be regular. I don't want him to be in the spotlight. I don't want him to be in media. And we all sit here in media.
Well, no. What I'm not saying what I want. I'm
it's
saying
tough.
that's my point. I'm not saying what I want. I'm saying what regular means to me. That was the question.
But you said you did want you want a regular. Did you say
no?
you want
She
regular?
said
No,
she
I
wanted.
He's like, don't put it. I don't want regular.
No, she said
regular.
that she thinks that she will end up with
Yeah.
a regular guy. I don't think it's anything wrong with it, to be clear. But that's just what I think it is. I think that if we want to talk about us, we do work in media. We do things where you need attention. Sometimes I think that can clash. If two people are trying to do the same thing. Not every time. It can work for some people. But if we're both having similar aspirations in terms of career and it is about attention, sometimes people be getting jealous if one person is doing better than the other, or if things aren't popping off at all for one person, and then the other person might start to feel like, well, you keep trying to do stuff with me because I'm doing something and this ain't got nothing to do. It just could be too many issues. I have steered clear for the most part with guys like that. I wouldn't say that I would totally rule it out. People who are in entertainment in any way, but I do think it would be better for him to be in the background.
I would love
He
for
could be
my
in the
man to
background in
be
entertainment,
not in the
but-
background, but I've had my share of those kind of men, and it's just not looking too well in that side. And then a lot of my family and friends always tell me, like, you need to date like outside of your comfort zone. You need to date someone you're not. And I'm just like,
Somebody you think you want. Now, wait, you didn't answer. What do you think regular is?
For me, regular is you actually do care about Instagram a lot. You
Like about your own page or
your
just
own
stuff that
page,
people are talking about?
your own page. Like you're worried about like the followers. You are consumed with like the social norms of things. You don't read.
this is regular.
This is regular to me. Like this is like the average person. Like you're not reading. You don't really like expand your mind. You like things to be the same. You don't try new things. I think that's regular to me. Like I'm not even gonna go into jobs because some niggas have really nice jobs and you still be a regular nigga. Like as far as how you think. Like, you don't have like your own thought. You're not your own person. You follow a lot of like the trends, how people are moving. You want to be flashy. Everybody got to know what you got. To me, that's regular Degular. And I
get
can't
that.
stand it. Like, I'd be like, bro.
I know that.
I get that. That's a good definition of regular.
It's
Degular.
annoying. Like, that type of thing. It just be like, it's even
I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to date you. I don't want you.
I don't know what to talk
around.
about. I don't know what
not
to
gonna
talk
talk.
about. Like, you don't like being outside. You don't. What are
How
you
did we
doing?
meet?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I don't even. Honestly, I don't even think that I could even meet
you don't believe in
someone
anything.
like I wouldn't even be in the room with to meet someone in that
If I was, I would
headspace.
leave.
I don't think.
You definitely been in the room with somebody like that. We all have.
Really?
We've all been in the room
Yes.
with
You
somebody.
just I
And-
just don't even take the time to even just.
You probably just
You
look
work
when
at
they
the radio
said
station.
something.
You've interviewed some of these people. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of these people are on a high scale, what looks like a high scale, and it's like, you actually ain't
No,
about
you're absolutely
nothing.
right.
Yeah, I know I am.
Yeah, matter of fact, now that you say that, it got me thinking about a couple. You're right.
I stand on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's regular daily to me. It has to do with like your mind frame.
Ooh, that's a
You
good
focus
one.
on the wrong things.
And it's really sad to be a person who is so consumed with what other people say you should be doing with your life, whatever the trend is, whatever the show off thing is. Because it's like, okay, but you're seeking validation from other people who don't even know you. But how do you actually feel?
You
Do
don't
these
know.
things fulfill you? You got to look to somebody else to always tell you what to do, how to feel, how to think. You're a sheep. I don't like that.
Don't like it.
That's a lot of people though.
Not a sheep.
You don't know where to go. You just lost.
Right, just lost. You need some direction.
Do we have time to talk about one more topic? Okay, so Jojo, do you have any favorite date spots in Atlanta? Top 3, or just one if you can't think of 3.
Ooh, it's crazy because I don't really date a lot and it sucks. But let me think. So I did go to Third Spot. I had a good time
You were
there.
Third Spot. I've been there. You been there? It's cute.
It's cute. I went there. That was fun. Where else did I go? Putt Shack, is that the name of it? I went there. That was fun too. And one more. I like to eat. So
Girl, so do we.
I like House. I really like House.
Yeah, I like
House is
house too.
good.
It's like a nice little intimate setting.
They need to turn the air conditioner on though in house. Every time
be
I go to
hot in
house,
there?
it just be high. And I
It
don't
be
know if it's
high?
the cigars.
It might
or,
be the cigars. You sit upstairs or downstairs?
I'm both.
Both? Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I really like House.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Hal?
No, I haven't.
I don't know if he's still alive because he's very old. But he's a very old white man.
Yeah.
Very rich. Sometimes there's a table that he always sits at. I used to date this lawyer dude, and we went. I was like, "You're Hal," and it was really cool. I was like, "Hey,
I wish I met Hal.
He got a wife though. He got a wife, but he looked like he like a little dark meat.
He probably do. They all do.
So I was scrolling on Instagram today, and there was a topic. Ashanti was the topic, and they were talking about spinning the block on exes.
Oh, yeah.
Nelly was her ex, and now they seem like they're living happily ever after
They
having a baby.
do.
How do y'all feel about spinning the block on with exes? You ever spun the block, and it worked out, or has it been a disaster every time?
I've actually tried to, well, I ain't gonna say I tried, but I've actually been thinking lately about spinning the block on an ex.
Really?
I am terrified. Why?
Why do you want to?
Because he was like, I messed it up. I messed up that relationship. So yeah.
How?
I was outside and he wasn't. He
You
was
was cheating.
inside. Yeah. And I just was doing my thing and he was boring.
Well, how you know he's not still boring?
He probably is, but I'm boring.
But now you want a
you
little
want
bit more
boring.
boring.
Yeah, but now I'm boring. I want to be boring too. And he was, yeah. So.
That sound like that.
But
you don't
it'll
need to
never
spin
work.
that
It'll never
bag.
work. It will never work. But I want
Now,
to.
when you say he's boring, what you mean? Like he don't want
Like
to
he stayed in the house.
Stuff?
No, he just, we had good date nights and stuff. But he would just stay in the house and play the game all the time. And I used to want to be outside. That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought he was boring.
I wish they would ban video games.
Why?
No,
from the
it's
world.
crazy. Like he literally would play.
Wait a minute. Why do they need to ban video games?
because
I
it
think
is a lot.
just too consuming of
I like
is.
video games, but you know,
What video games you be playing?
I be playing The Sims.
Do you
Okay.
be on there for 17 hours a day?
Well, not a day, but I have been on there for a very long time before. But I put myself on a limit Because I realized
These
how
niggas
it's so
don't have
easy
image.
to
one
be
time I
consumed.
was in the kitchen cooking. I hear my man screaming in the room, talking about to your left, man.
Was he playing Call of Duty or something?
I don't know, but it's turn it off.
Yes, turn it off.
What is y'all in here doing? And who is you in here talking
you wish
to?
you
And
could
who
do
is
like-
on that chat?
You know, they have Jojo. I was going to be trying to figure out who the fuck is in the room. I don't care if it's a video game, if it's the club,
It's too
if it's your
much.
house.
That nigga is
You know how they have
invested.
the screen time things where it'll, like, if it's parental controls, it will cut the kid's phone off. You can't play no more. Don't you wish they had that?
Yeah.
They don't have that.
You would be. They have it.
They
for,
need that
for
for
phones,
kids, but
not for the video game.
Shit.
How long would you let him play?
I mean,
If you could control it, and it was totally
no,
up to
you're
you.
not playing. I'm throwing the whole thing away. That's how I feel about
all?
it. At all.
But y'all do need that time though away
Sometimes
from
you just
each
wanna
other
do
so that
something.
I
and
know, and that's not that I'm saying you need to spend that time with me.
Would you rather? Would you rather him be in that house playing that game or being outside at Magic City? Ooh,
He not gonna do that.
that's not
But
what I
That's
asked.
not the question.
That's not what I asked.
Or just at the club. Period.
At the strip
I
club.
hate the club.
I know you do. That's why I said that. And you hate that game.
And am I going with him?
No.
Okay, I guess
You're
I'd
not
rather
playing the
him
game?
be playing the video game.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
so,
you.
It's the lesser of two evils. At least he
Yes.
out.
No, because I literally had to deal with that. I was literally like, I had a dude that was in the house playing a game, and then it switched to a dude that was always outside. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought this is what I wanted. This is not
And
what
it
I wanted.
ain't.
Take your ass in the house.
Yeah.
Now, before we
get it.
move on, I
Yes,
did
let
want
him
to
play
talk
the
to you a
game.
little bit about me and a mom. So you're a new mommy again.
Mm-hmm.
When you announced that you were pregnant, or let's back it up. When you found out that you were pregnant, how did you feel this last time?
I was happy, but I was terrified.
Why?
I was terrified because I'm working at the radio station. My image is important. I didn't know how my job was going to take it. So I was nervous. I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a fear that when you asked for maternity leave, they was going to try to swap you out or something?
There was
Because they do that.
Yeah, there was a part of me that felt like my job was at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a part of me that thought that. But my job, my company, my boss, Louis V, they were very supportive.
They better be, or you're gonna have a lawsuit.
good.
Yeah.
While
That
you
too.
were on maternity leave, I co-hosted with Kodak. And
did?
He gave you a shout out. And I feel like a lot of the episodes that I listened to when he was on without you, he always gave you a shout out. And I think that's so important to make sure you have a supportive co-host.
Yeah, for sure. Kodak definitely held it down. Kodak's been holding it down for a long time. I love you, Kodak. So yeah, it was tough. And then me coming back was tough as well because I was gone. Honestly, I was supposed to be due December 22nd and I had him December 11th. So I wasn't even on maternity leave at the time. I didn't even get to have maternity leave for real.
Wow.
It was like I got off work. I went to an 85 South show. The next morning I was delivering the baby. Like randomly. And I had to send an email like, I'm on maternity leave now. I had my baby. Da, da, da. And then I ended up coming back February 11th, something like that. So everything was like pretty fast. But then when I got back, it was like, okay, I'm trying to find my rhythm. Like things were new. The times that we were coming in were a little later. So
Did you go through any postpartum?
I did.
Are you still?
I feel like I still might be going through postpartum just a little bit. Not as much as I was, but like my brain sometimes, like I can't think about what I'm going to say. And it's crazy because I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, oh, why can't I think? Like I'm in the middle of an interview and I'm like, I cannot think of what I'm going to say next. And it's crazy because I was interviewing Just Hilarious and she's the one who called me out on it. And she not knowing what was going on, but I was trying to find the word to say and I came up with some bullshit word and she just looked at me and was like, really? And then that's when it made me really think like, okay, some things might be wrong. And I started thinking like, I may need to go see a doctor. And then I started talking to my brother who is in EMS and I was telling him like, yeah, I can't think. He was like, you might have like
Postpartum.
postpartum, like with your, I didn't even think of that.
Women are so incredible. You really got to be working crazy for real. Like you don't know what is going on. And
Yeah,
you
no.
over here trying to interview.
But
What's
I didn't
been
even
the hardest part about going back to work after having your baby?
my schedule. Scheduling, because I don't have, family out here. So finding someone to watch my son, because I can't trust everybody like at all. And girl, and I have 2 kids. So I literally, his dad, he is an active father. He is a great father. Shout out to you. But he's super busy. Like his job is traveling. Like he's never, like he's been gone. Like say for instance, like this week he's been gone all week, and he's gonna be gone all next week too. So it's like for a week during the day and at night. So say starting from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. for 1 week, $1,400 for childcare for 1 week. So
Life
that is
is
the most difficult
expensive.
part.
We got dogs.
That is the most
and
difficult
we
part.
can leave them at home.
Right. So when people keep saying oh, I can't wait to have kids. I can't wait to have kids. I just slide them the little bill, and I'm like, tick, tick, tick.
This is the other part they don't talk
this is the
about.
part that like they're great to have, but Jesus Christ, $1,400 in a week.
So that's crazy. But well, and some places are more. If you got like you want your child to be vegan, you want them to have certain things to eat, like it's way more.
Well, that's a nanny.
Yeah, there's certain daycares too that will provide it, but it's just way more.
$1,400 a month
That's a lot
for
of money.
one child.
That's a
Speaking
lot
of kids,
money.
and then we'll move on to Indecisive Diane. Me and my boyfriend were having this conversation the other day. We've been having a lot of conversations. And we were talking about paternity fraud, which is basically,
That is fucked up.
and it happens a lot. I looked at the stats where women
I know somebody who went through that.
Wait, hold on. Women what? Say
where
it.
someone's not the. Let me not go into that detail. A man is raising the child he thinks is his, and it's not his child.
Ooh.
It happens in married relationships where you were supposed to be together and committed to each other. It happens just like you're just telling someone this is and it happens a lot. Since you just had a baby, how would you feel? My boyfriend thinks that whether you're married or not, committed or not, that he's like, I don't understand why the hospitals don't just have it in place where you have to, they silently do a paternity test.
Because it's a fee. That's why.
Not when you're at the hospital. It's not.
But I mean, it costs to do a test.
Not
Not
at the
that you have to pay it.
No,
but
not at the hospital.
No? Nobody's paying for that? It's not any sort
what
of...
you mean, like your insurance pays for it?
No, not insurance, but I'm just saying, like every little thing at the hospital, when you're getting food, when you're getting this, maybe you don't pay out of pocket. You don't pay it, but
insurance.
everything, or insurance or just the hospital itself, they have to account for everything. Every test, all the blood
Well,
work.
you have to pay for it anyway. If you take it
There's
there.
a lot that's going to have to be paid for.
Yeah, DNA
But-
test is a drop in the bucket.
So he was saying, I want a paternity test. I don't care if we're married. I want a paternity test. And that's just it. When he initially said it, I was like, so you would we're married and we're having our baby and you want a paternity test? He was like, yes. And he stands on that. He was like, it's too many people out here where it's like you're married and all of a sudden it's like you've raised this child for 18. I mean, it really does happen. First I felt offended, and then I was like, you know what? We had another conversation about it. I was like, I do get it. It's an intelligent thought to have because you don't know, excuse me, what people are doing. As much as you want to believe that your person would not do this to you, we see it happen. I think I put the stat in here, 30% of paternity tests, the man is not the biological father. That's a big deal. You have people raising kids till they're 18 and the man has to go through this heartbreak. The child has to go through this heartbreak. I have a friend who went that. He's a man and he was raising the child and it wasn't his child. And it just took his life a whole different direction because he couldn't believe it. And I was like, wow, like some women would be like, what? You want me to? But it's actually like, I get it. Silently. You don't have to, we don't got to go and broadcast it. Just do it real quick. Let the people know. And if a fight breaks out.
So
How would you feel if your man was like, I want a paternity test? Not that he's being disrespectful with it. He's just like, when the baby's born, I do want a paternity test just to make sure. Would you be offended or do you get it? Because with that, women do have the power to lie and just be like, you're the dad. We all watched Maury. Half them bitches knew that nigga was not the dad.
okay. You got some more?
We drank it all.
So I would not be offended if he asked for a paternity test. But I am a statistic, though. With my daughter, my first child, I did not know who her father was.
And you knew that from the jump when you found out you were pregnant.
I knew that from the very beginning.
So you didn't know, and what happened? Did you tell all parties involved, or you picked the best option?
I told all parties involved.
Because that's what people be doing, picking the best option.
I did tell.
Never thought
all
Ancestry.com
parties
would be a
involved.
thing.
But
But wait, when you tell all parties involved, do you just tell everybody they're their dad, or you say, I don't know who the dad is, you might be in the running?
no, I didn't even let them know that it was like another option at the time. At the time, like I was young, y'all. Don't judge me.
Oh, we're not.
And so many people are gonna be like, "This bitch," but
So
it
many
is
people
what
gonna
it
be
is.
like, I did that shit too.
"Yeah, this
And
is
they
my
still
life.
doing it.
This is the truth." But when I found out, what I did was I told both of them that I was pregnant. I didn't tell them that, oh, it's a chance, this, and this. I just said what I said. Okay. And then I picked up and moved the fuck away. I did.
You had to get some
I
physical
did.
distance between y'all.
I did. I said, I'm pregnant, and that's just what it is. And I fell off the face of the earth. And that's what happened. At the time, I was. So remember when you said what happened with my ex or whatever, what happened, and I said I messed up. This is how I messed up.
Okay.
Okay. So when I told him I was pregnant, it could have either been his or the other guy. So, but he knew that we were on a break at the time. So, and me and him were not having sex. It was this is what happened in the situation. Me and him were not together anymore. We decided to not be together.
Before you tell the story, are you okay with telling the story? Because
Yes.
we don't cut stuff out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I done told the story before,
Okay.
kind of, sort of, but yeah, I'm an open book.
Okay.
So, anyways, we were on a break, and so when we weren't even on a break. We weren't together no more. We didn't want to be with each other, and so I started dealing with this other guy, and we were just having sex. That was it, just sex. That was it. Me and my dude were not having sex. We were about to move out. Because we were living together. We were about to move out. And before we moved, we decided to have sex one last time. And that's what happened. We had sex that one last time. A month later, boom, I was pregnant. And I was like, fuck. What am I going to do? So I told the other dude I was pregnant. And then I told him I was pregnant. And then he was like, well, I don't give a fuck. We going to figure this out. So I'm like, okay. So we ended up moving away, living with each other.
Wait,
blah, blah, blah.
figure it out in what way? Like, we're going to figure this out and make it work, or?
We're going to figure it out and try to make it work type of thing.
Okay.
When I had her, I birthed her, I said,
This is not your baby.
I didn't even say that. I just looked at him and was like, do you want to take a paternity test?
Oh, you said it.
Yeah. And he told me no. And I said, are you sure? And he said, no, I don't want to take one. So I said, okay.
Did you say that because you looked at the baby and you're like, she looked like...
No, I really didn't know. I had like pick stitch. That was when pick stitch was popular. I had pick stitches of two and everybody
figure it out.
side by side and all
It
types
probably
of
just
stuff.
made it real.
I didn't know.
Because she's here.
Yeah, she's here, and now we need to know. Now we need to know if you're wasting your time, I'm wasting my time. We need to find out. He said no. 2 months go by. I ordered a test online. I asked him to take it. He told me no. He's gonna do what he needs to do. Okay. Wash my hands with it.
He probably really wanted a baby.
He clearly...
Couple-
that's the version of the man that
Literally.
really wants a baby. Because there's women that really want babies. And then
But a
there's
couple
men.
months later, I find out that he's on some whole other bullshit. Like he was taking my car to cheat and do all this other stuff. So I kicked him out. So at the weekend that he had her, he swabbed her on his birthday. And around this time, I wanted him to come back. So I'm like, okay, I want my family back. Get your shit together. Like, let me take you out for your birthday. He says, okay. He pulls up in a brand new car because he didn't have a car. Pulls up in a brand new car with the paperwork. Acting like we were about to go out because I was taking him out. My mom was doing my hair and everything. He comes to the house. He pulls out the paperwork and he says, she's not mine. And I'm
How
like,
old was the baby at this
"What?"
point?
6 months. And I was just like, what? And he was like, yep. And I was like, so when I kept asking you to take these tests, why didn't you take it then? And he said, because I didn't want you to make a fool out of me. And I said, so you want to make a fool out of me?
Right.
And he didn't say anything. And he left. And that's how I found out.
Don't spin the block on that
Don't
one.
spin the block.
Because that's King Petty, and you got to watch.
Well, he's
out
from
for
New
niggas
York,
like
so
that.
he.
It don't matter.
You know they petty.
And that's not. Cause what you did give him the option.
I did. I gave him 2 options. I gave him
And
twice.
He didn't have to show up for the fake date. You had to fake
And then
you
he
out
showed
like
up
that.
for the fake date.
That's tough. Yeah.
That's tough. I know that was tough. Did you end up telling the real dad?
I did.
And was he like, no, it's not?
No, he knew. He told me that he knew.
He felt it in his
He
gut.
said he felt it. He knew.
He was hoping you didn't call.
He knew. He was hoping that he'd get that call. But I called him and I told him.
What was his reaction like?
Tough situation.
So he's an ain't shit ass nigga. He's currently married. So
That's a lot.
yeah.
Did you have to go through therapy to kind of like work through some of that?
Not really. Not for that situation. I did, however, have to do some soul searching, and I did, however, go to church and had to get my life right with God because it was a lot of things that I was going through at that time. Like I was dealing with a married man, and I had a baby on the love of my life at the moment. So I was literally at rock bottom because now it's just me and my daughter because of the stupid mistakes I decided to make. So I had to live with that. And the only way I was able to live with that was to go to church and get back right. Because it's never like I wasn't right, but I had to just get back right with God and figure out my life.
Whenever folks,
Refocus.
whenever women start sleeping with married men, I know God is like, we got another one on the line. I've been there too. Where it's like, when you start sleeping with a married man, you really be like, what are you doing, bitch?
Yeah.
It's 2 women. It's one that's like, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
need to cheat.
Yeah.
And there's the other one where it's like, you're doing it and you're like, this is wrong. God,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
If you are sleeping with a married man, you have hit rock bottom. I don't care how rich that nigga is. That is somebody else's man. And you laid
Yeah.
up with him and he don't care about you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And even with that situation, we weren't dating. Like we didn't date.
Y'all was
we didn't. That's it. Like late nights.
And now you have these ties. Yeah.
You ever had a scare like that where you are just fucking someone and you're like, oh
I
my
might be
God,
pregnant.
I'm not having it, but
Yeah.
God loves you because you did. But I'm not.
Yeah,
this
and I
baby
be
gotta go.
yeah, and I be
nigga.
thinking that too. Like, oh my God, like why? At the time, I was outside. I'm talking about I was getting flued out, private jets. I'm having a good ass time. Boop, pregnant by a nigga that I'm talking about. All these other niggas I could have got pregnant by.
It's the one.
Somebody wanted to be the daddy.
I had to learn my lesson. I did, and I learned it.
I'm glad you did.
And
because some people don't.
I want to say thank you for sharing that story with us. For real. I
It takes a
appreciate
lot of
your story. It
courage.
does. It really
does.
does. And you never know what people going to be saying in comments. We've shared stories before on this show where it's like, sometimes you help somebody just now.
Yeah.
You help somebody.
And you never know who's going through right now that needs that, okay, I need a sign. Well, this is your sign, sister girl.
Leave that man alone.
Okay.
You gonna end up a single mama.
Yeah, I remember I found out I had a brother. I've told this story a lot of times. I found out I had a brother on Ancestry.com.
Wait, hold on. Wait, are your parents married?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
And it's my daddy's child. I found out I had a brother, and then he found out his mama had lied to him his entire life because he's a junior to somebody else. And I was excited because I thought he knew our daddy was a Rolling Stone, but come to find out he didn't know who our daddy was because he thought somebody else was his daddy. And I get why men would want to have a paternity test.
Yeah.
I would just say, if that is what you're feeling, say something before y'all are in the delivery room, because then it's gonna feel like a slap in the face. Emotions and hormones are all over the place. Talk to whoever you're with, because I think that if you can do it in a calm way, many people would probably get it.
I think they should do that too, because in certain states, like once you sign that birth certificate, it's over with.
It's over with.
Yeah, it's no taking
It's
you
just
off.
like if you adopted a kid.
Yeah, like it's no taking you off. So
Yeah.
you need to be very much like sure.
And if you do want to take it off, because we went into all this too when we looked it up, if you do want to take it off, you got to contact who the actual dad is. It's a lot. You got to get a lot of people to sign off.
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
a whole lot.
So then we talked about, and then we'll move on to Inner Size with Dan, I promise y'all. so then I was like, because like I said, when he first, I don't even have no kids. I'm not even pregnant and I'm not having one today. And I felt like, I was like, this is so invasive. Like, it's just so rude. It comes off so rude that you would be like, I'm married to you. We were talking about married people. Like you were asking your wife to have a paternity test. And then we were like, I was like, what do you think the equivalent would be so I can invade you too? Like for a man, And he was like, well, I don't know, because it's like, it's sex. And I was like, well, sex and money, that's what be running the world. That's what be making things pop. So I think the equivalent for a man to make you feel, not even that you want to make somebody feel like embarrassed, but even if that this is in fact like the father of the child, you still would kind of be taken aback if you didn't talk about this beforehand and your husband is like, hey, can y'all do a paternity test?
Yeah, because you're going to feel some kind
you
of way.
are
Like, what do you feel about, how do you look at me?
What are you talking about? And
what are you doing?
This is a guilty conscience.
Right.
Where is this coming from? Everything was good.
Going. It's like, I know I only been fucking with you, nigga.
Right, exactly.
My feet swole, my nose is spread. I look like
Rasputia in the hospital room. It's a lie.
Yeah.
And so you might feel a little embarrassed. Like
I would.
So I told him, he was like, what do you think the equivalent would be for a woman to request for a man? And I was like, all of your income. All of it.
Let me see it.
Let me see it. I'm talking about, let me see everything you've invested in. Let me see all of it. You can look up to see if somebody owns a house. You can do all that. But the stuff I can't look at, what stocks do you own? Let me actually see like your bank account. All of them. Let me see them all.
Yeah, all of them.
Because there are also situations where you think somebody had it. The Murdoch family, for instance. I just watched that movie too. And that nigga was struggling with money, with finances. You thought he had it. He was borrowing and owing and debt and let me see it all on the paper. Print it out. Anyways,
I want to see it.
Just wanted to share that so we can all be uncomfortable. So we can all know what we're really working with.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope y'all not out here trying to defraud nobody out of being a daddy to your child, because that shit ain't cool. And then you might be losing out on somebody who really is the daddy, who might be a good daddy. Everybody ain't shit, but some of them are. Do a little bit more due diligence, maybe. Yeah. But we're going to move on to Indecisive Diane. And when we come back, we will answer an advice question.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and this week I have a rather weird, unique date for everyone who likes to try different things. If you live in, excuse me, if you live in Atlanta, Google Atlanta roller derby. It's roughneck bitches that beat each other up while they're rollerblading. Check it out. I had fun. Maybe you will too. Bye.
So we're back from Indecisive Diane, and it's time for the advice. If you have a question, email it to us, advice@cocktalespod.com. So this one says, why is he telling me this? Hey, Kiki and Medina, I'm a faithful listener and a huge fan. I'm writing in for your take on a situation. It seems to me that I have side chick energy, and most of the men I meet have situationships. So I usually thank them politely and move on. This one guy insisted we stay friends, so we talk every now and again, and I mind my business and never ask about his unless the flirting gets out of hand. We hang out every so often, but it's usually with other people, or we go for drives and chat. Drives? Is it 9:52?
I love drives.
I like taking drives too.
I love drives.
I do.
But with somebody that try to holler at you
chick.
that you know is in a situationship with?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and sometimes I'll ask for rides because I don't have a car, but he never comes through. Well, you need to watch Riding in Cars with Boys with Drew Barrymore. She got pregnant, had people trying to push her down the stairs. Everything is coming back to this moment right here, and I hope you remember this.
You got to make better decisions, y'all. You know,
Okay, you don't even come through.
Coming through.
Situationship. Okay.
Okay. Recently, I shared with him that I was thinking about selling my house and the details around it. He gave me some advice and we moved on. But as of late, he has been calling me more and talking a lot about his financial difficulties.
Child.
It's a huge turnoff for me because that's got nothing to do with me. But I don't know if he's just sharing or if he feels as though he might get a sympathy loan from me. It's the latter. I told him he should share that information with the woman he lays with. But he explained that their relationship is on the outs. Of course it is. Should I tell him that his finances are not my business, or should I just be a friend and listen without assuming that he's hoping to get help from me? A man you're not sleeping with, don't get nothing from, and never comes through when asked, couldn't possibly look at a single mother, regardless of how well she does, and expect money, right? Wrong. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Your Virgo sis sent from my iPhone. Virgo sis.
Oh, Virgo
He's
sis.
playing with you. He's dumping this on you because he's looking for help. He thought because you about to sell his house that you about to come into some money, or that he didn't realize how much money you had. He's telling you that the relationship is on the outs because he wants you to not feel guilt to give him a gift. He's not really looking for a real loan. He's looking for a gift. He wants you to bail him out of the situation, and you bet not do it. This is not even a friend to you.
Up for you, and this is
He won't even give you a ride, bitch.
I was gonna say he can't even give you a ride.
He can, but he won't. That's even worse.
That's even worse. And it's like, I know that you've thought about considering giving him the money because you wrote in.
Right.
We're not judging you, but you got to do better. This ain't it. Signs of a man acting like this is not even a man to me in my book. Now, I don't know how you live your life, but whenever I have been in need, like from a man, he shows up and he's not showing up for you because he doesn't care about you. He also is somebody else's man. We can't forget that part. This is someone else's man. He's using you and he's about to make a fool of you. Come on, sis. You got to wake up.
I was going to say that too. Like, he is with someone else. He's with someone else. So that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility isn't to make sure he's okay as a friend or not. Like, because you guys aren't friends. You guys are more than friends. You guys are in a situationship too. Mm-hmm. He has friends.
You just not fucking him, I guess.
Yeah, like he has friends that he could depend on, but he knows that he can use that emotional like tactic with you because you guys have an emotional connection, and fuck that.
Mm-hmm. And when you're sleeping with somebody else's man, again, speaking from experience, they know that you can be bamboozled. You are getting sloppy seconds. And they're like, you're okay with this. Wow.
And again, you're not even sleeping with him. So you should slap him. Well, no, don't slap him. But in your mind, slap him for even thinking to fix his mouth to be talking to you about this shit. You got your own shit going on. This is not it. You need to end this fake friendship situationship
She's
thing.
Sleeping with him.
It's not your friend. He's not being a friend to you. You can't call him. You can't ask him for a ride home because you don't have a car and he's complaining to you about his financial burdens. Tell him to call Jesus on the main line.
Okay.
And tell him what he wants. Okay.
But
and that's
also,
what you do with that.
She asked if she should still, okay, but you asked at the end if you should say something about his finances or just let it ride. I think you should just, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything at all.
You need to exit.
Yeah,
this is an appropriate time to ghost somebody.
Yeah, you can ghost.
This is an appropriate time to ghost somebody.
Unless you like your situationship. If you like it and it's cool and it does something for you, like your mental or whatever, then keep him around. Don't give him no bread. Don't give him no bread.
He can't even help you financially. Like, that would be all you could do.
But if they have like a friendship or something,
maybe
like,
she
but
likes
he's
to
not
talk
even giving her
you
a ride.
need to take some classes, maybe go on
cap.
some trips, do some different activities to make other friends that are actually going to be reciprocal friends. So it's not just somebody venting to you and dumping their problems on you, so that you can have a real friendship. Because when you have a real friendship, that feels good, and it's nice to know that you got somebody there for you that's not just like, oh, you might be coming into some money.
Yeah,
Let me tell you about my problems.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
giving
know
you.
nobody like that.
It's giving.
It's
Move
giving.
on, girl.
Yeah, it's
Listen
giving.
to a Beyonce album and get your life together.
Please do. And y'all keep sending in your advice questions, advice@cocktailspod.com. And now we will move on to the cocktails. So we're out of time, and we only have time for a special one from you, JoJo. But we know you got a good one, so let's hear it.
Okay, I do have a good one. It's kind of long. It's kind of long. Okay. So one day, I was with my homegirls, and we were at a bar. And there's this guy at the bar. He kept trying to holler at me. And I had a conversation with him. I was talking, but nothing too deep or whatever. But he was cool. But typically when someone's at the bar and trying to holler, I don't really pay attention that much to like trying to holler at him or anything like that. I'm just enjoying the time. So as time goes on, my homegirl, she's like, oh, that's my homeboy. You should talk to him. And I'm like, why? She's like, cause you should just get his number. So I'm like, okay. So I get his number. And he texted me, was like, hey, we should hang out sometimes. I'm like, okay, cool. He's all right, hit me up, let me know like what you want to do, and we'll do it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I hit up my homegirl. I'm like, hey, he's saying like, let him know what I'm trying to do, whatever. And she's like, whatever it is that you want to do it.
Did you have something in mind?
I just thought of some stuff. So at the time I was in Chicago, so I just started looking up different stuff. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I sent him different ideas of what I wanted to do. Like we have yachts in Chicago, we have helicopters,
I've seen those little yachts with the little hot tubs in them and stuff.
Yes,
cute.
like we have
Chicago on the river.
I've never seen those.
Yeah, it's all types of stuff, right? So I sent him just a whole bunch of different things. Like, oh, I think these would be cool for us to do. He says, bet. What are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I guess we can link up tomorrow. He's like, okay, cool. Meet me here. So I meet him at this location. We get there, and we are at a helicopter. So we go on a helicopter ride.
Are you about to join the Mile High Club?
No.
Okay. You can't go on a helicopter now. You done fell out the door.
Right. So we get on this helicopter. We ride around the entire city, and then we land, and then he drives me to this yacht.
Oh.
Right. So we get on a yacht, and then the yacht drives us down the city, like through the city of Chicago. So pretty, so pretty. And then
were you having a good time?
I was having a great time. He was so cool and so charming. And he was fine as fuck. He started getting finer and finer. So then we get to the as we're riding around the city, I say driving, but we're in a boat. We're going through the city and we having a good time. We drinking, we smoking, we having a good time. And we dock at this restaurant. So literally get off of the yacht and go straight to the restaurant. Like get off the yacht and walk up, go to the restaurant. So we're in a restaurant and we having a good time. We talking and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, this whole time I'm thinking, like this whole time before I even went on the date, I'm like, okay, just keep it classy, see how things go and things like that. So I'm like, okay. So then we go, we have dinner. He's super charming and he's funny as hell. And I never knew what he did. Like I never knew what he did for a living because I could never tell. His car never smelled like weed. Like he never told me about any like businesses he had going on. He didn't give scammer, like nothing. So I never knew. So as we sitting there talking, after we ended up leaving, he was like, "Oh, you wanna go back to the house?" And I'm like, "Shit, I'm gonna do whatever you wanna do." So we ended up going back to the yacht, and it was his yacht. We ended up going back to the yacht, hanging out, smoking, drinking some more, going back to his hotel. I mean, not his hotel, his apartment. He had like a high rise in the city. And I said I wasn't gonna have sex, but baby.
He was busting it open.
I'm talking about. And he had great sex. And he was the first guy to ever spit in my mouth.
Do you like that?
I loved it.
I do too.
I loved it. Yes. And he had great dick. It's crazy though, because I just recently went to Chicago and I didn't hit him up. And it took everything I had not to hit him up, but I didn't.
Why didn't you hit him up?
Because he's trouble. His dick is great. But I had a really good time though. I had a great time. It was fun. Yeah.
That's a good cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have got elaborate and said how the sex was and how,
I do love a good, rich, luxurious cocktail.
He did his thing and I did my thing.
It just adds to it when the dick is good too.
It does.
I mean, yeah, I could say that, the dick was great and his dick was big. Well, is big. He's actually top 3 best
And he ain't
dicks
number 3.
I've ever had. Okay, I just had to say that. He's like top 3 best dicks I've ever had. Like his, not even dicks. Like the sex is just great. His sex was just great. Like I love when like a man, like we're having sex, like he's talking to me.
The passion, like you're there.
Yeah,
Attentive.
like you're telling me what you like, what you want me to do, what you don't want me to do. Like even when you call me out my name, I love that shit too.
I love that.
I do, and we had a good
That
time.
was a good cocktail.
And we had great sex.
JoJo, we have really loved your presence on this show.
Thank you guys
Thank you for
having
coming.
me.
Thank
I had
you
a
for
good time.
sharing.
Good.
Let everybody know where they can find you. If you want to plug anything, now would be the time.
Okay. Follow me on social media, Jojo Alonso _JoJo ALONSO. And also tune in to our radio show, me and Big Homie Kodak. It's called the Jojo and Big Homie Show. Every Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to midnight on 96.1 The Beat.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You are
Thanks,
welcome
y'all.
back anytime.
I can't wait.
Yes, this was excellent girl talk this week. Make sure you guys check out the description box for links to everything that we talked about today. And also make sure that you sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/CockTales. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean D.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Sweet on the drive. Bye. Bye. Bye.